Hi everyone, I wanted to start off just by showing you the view of my full glass cockpit on my microlight. Quite advanced Garmin 695. I'm also flying with a backup iPhone 6 with NF Pro for navigation. I've got full digital electronic glass flight controls for my engine and airspeed, and then everything else with it. You can see my checklist sitting in a special holder on the left, which I'm flying with, making sure that all the checks are done at every phase of the flight. Right, so we're going to go straight into the next section, which is me flying around the northern ridge. Let's start that. Right, so here we are. It's quite late in the day. I've still got 15 minutes of flying time before I've got to be back on the ground. So I'm just going for another quick trip around Hartebeesport. I'm now over the northern ridge, heading towards, that's the dam wall. I'll show you in the distance there, the neck in the mountains. But this is the Hartebeesport or the Magaliesberg northern ridge, and I'm just flying along it. I'm going to go all the way along to the dam wall and then cut around and heading towards the dam. But really beautiful flying. See, I'm quite low because there's really no wind at this time of the afternoon, so able to keep it quite low over the mountains. It's always really thrilling to fly like this. And just coming over the top here, this is Commando Neck in front of me, down the bottom here, Commando Neck, those of you that know the area. And I know a few colleagues would have done the Aeroden race last weekend, and this is the route that it took. So let's Cosmos over to the right, or Caribbean over to the right. I'm going to go around the mountain and come back over that, so you'll see where this flight's taking me. I'll narrate again as I start to get towards the dam. So here I am, probably a good 1,500 foot above the water level, and starting to descend around the mountain. You can see the dam wall just to the left as I started to descend there. There it's coming back into view. There's the traffic park going into the tunnel on the other side, and I'm going to just sneak around this mountain. There is a slight easterly blowing here, so if anything I'll pick up a little bit of lift off the front of this mountain. You can see that the southern side of these Magaliesberg mountains is very, very steep, and that's where I'm flying now. I'm going to sneak around Cosmos to my left below, Hartebeesport Dam in front obviously, and then right on the other side of the dam is Peakenwood. That's the whole complex of Peakenwood. As I come around this buttress, so to speak, and this is Cosmos down on the left. So very beautiful flying here, quite close and tight with the mountain. I can do that because there's no wind blowing, and yeah, magnificent actually. A little bit of bumpiness there, which I expect, around a mountain you're going to find a slight bit of turbulence, but nothing that can't be handled. So you can see what's going to happen now is I'm going to do an emergency engine out, some training in Caribbean, there is a very nice fairway right on the water's edge that I use, and I'm going to have a go at that now. The big thing with doing an emergency engine out is making sure that you land exactly where you intend to. There's never space to spare when you're doing an engine out, where you're having to land in a field or whatever it might be. That's not really an airstrip. You have to land as quickly as possible on the spot as soon as the land opens up, and then obviously you're going to brake and try and stop before you get to the end of it. So the important thing is to try and get your wheels down right on the start, and the start will be the start of that fairway. Now I can tell you in advance that I'm not going to make this one. Okay, I'm flying in and I misjudge it, which is not a bad thing, it's all in the training. So what would have happened is I would have landed deep. I might have stopped because the fairway is of fair length and my brakes are quite good on all three wheels, but the point is that in terms of proper engine out training, so there's the fairway in front of me, you can see it there, and I'm now doing some legs on the approach because I want to try and lose some altitude. I'm too high for it, so I'm continuing straight. I haven't turned back yet, and now I'm turning too early actually, because I should have gone a little bit longer, turned back and then turned again to lose some altitude. So here I come, dropping down, dropping and pulling the bar, and you can see the bars coming towards my chest, but I'm too high. They're just past the bunkers where I should have landed. I'm 50, 100 feet too high. So badly timed, but we live for another day. Fortunately, this is just a training exercise and I've got power to add on, and I'll pick up when I try the next one. Alright, so sadly I deleted my footage of my next two engine outs. I'll include them in the next video. But what happens now is I've just got some footage of me heading back towards my airfield for landing, and let's take you there. Alright, so here I am, and in the distance you'll see where I'm going to land. That's Aeroden. That's where I'm heading. It is quite a difficult field in that it's one way out and one way in because of the mountain to the left here, the Magaliesberg northern ridge to the left of me. There's no landing from the left hand side, which is from the south, and there's no taking off either to the south. So we always take off north on 36 and we land exactly south on 18, and that's a bit challenging because of winds. If you have a tailwind component for your landing, it vastly increases your ground speed, and that can be very challenging at times. So also with takeoff, if you have somewhat of a tailwind on takeoff, it extends your takeoff run, so not easy either. Anyway, but here we are, we're approaching, we're about 3 miles out, and I'll be calling at this stage. I'm at about 4,500 foot here, which is 500 foot above the runway surface. I'll be climbing through to about 495 as I approach the airfield. The airfield's just beyond those buildings you can see in the front of my nose. There you go. So that's it. I've just edited that out. There you can see the airfield coming up. That's running directly north-south. And what I'll do now is I'm taking, see in my hand, I've got another camera. I'm just taking some footage of, in fact, the photographs you saw right at the front of this video was me taking these pictures right now. And then I just took a quick video of the airfield. You'll see it coming up now. I'll insert that so you can have a look what it looks like from a different perspective, pilot's perspective, as you fly over. Obviously looking at the windsock to make sure of the wind direction. So there we have it. There's the glass cockpit. I look down, make sure the windsock's looking good. And now I'm going to join a right-hand circuit for a full stop on 18. It's right-hand because there's another airfield to the east of Aeroden, and so we do not have the normal left-hand circuit, which is normal on most airfields. We only have a right-hand circuit. So about to join a right-hand downwind. I will be calling in the next few seconds. Just putting my camera away, and there we go. So I'm now turning a right-hand downwind for full stop landing on 18. Right, and you'll see with the fisheye lens of the GoPro, there's the airfield coming into view again. You can see it there, and that's what. So we're going to do a downwind. It's probably about 1.5 kilometers downwind, making sure, doing all our final checks now. So I'll be checking my frequency that I'm on 1248, which is the frequency for this airfield. I will be checking my seat belts. I will be checking that my aircraft is trimmed for slow. I have a trim on my wing that can trim for speed, so I'll be making sure that's back in the slow position, and just doing various checks and scanning continuously. We have a lot of helicopters coming through this area, very low level, which would be in conflict to landing, so just keeping my eyes very well peeled for any aircraft, as well as obviously listening in the airwaves, making sure that there's no one reporting that they're heading towards me at the same altitude as me. So that's really what we're doing now. And I'm about to turn right hand base. So you saw the box come up just now, so I'm on downwind. I'll be turning a right base, and then again turning. There I am there, that's my position right now. And so continuing a little while longer, and then turning onto right base for my second to last leg. My last leg obviously is the finals leg. I'm about a kilometer out right now, just under maybe, and I'm starting to turn. You can see me starting to turn now, gradual turn. I'll call right base for 18 full stop, and so any aircraft in the area will know it's Aeroden. They'll know it's my call sign, and they'll know that I'm turning right base for 18 full stop landing. Full stop meaning not a touch and go, we're actually stopping, and this will be the end of the flight. So the buildings you can see coming up just above my head, there's the runway just above my propeller at the moment, and that's the position of where I am right now. And very soon I will be turning onto finals. So a little bit deceiving the way the GoPro fisheye lens depicts the runway. It looks as if I'm way off to the right hand side, but it's not really the case. The GoPro fisheye just makes it look as if I'm off. So here I am lined up with 18, as you can see there. I'm fully lined up, but as I said, it looks as if I'm way off to the one side. Right, so what you'll see here, that's my position again. That's the runway, and I'm coming in on final approach. And what you'll see coming up very shortly are high tension cables, which are right at the threshold of 18, which is something we have to be very, very careful of. Obviously, I have some landing guidance here, so that's not that bad for me. But there you'll see the cables now. Boom, there. So just sticking it above those. There's the guidance on the left hand side, you can see it, and down we go. Beautiful landing, touchdown, lovely, lights on. It's almost, well, it's past sunset. VFR rules require that I'm on the ground 15 minutes after sunset. So there you go, lovely flight. I hope you enjoyed it. See you again soon.